Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Usha.
Let's start episode 227 of Ask Vidas and Osha podcast. This question was sent by David, and before that I asked him what challenges is he facing when preparing for a wedding. And he wrote, "Fortunately, I have 5 years to practice for this. My biggest hurdle was actually covered in one of the recent podcasts where Jan was mentioning she might be practicing too quickly the speed of the piece. I have the same problem as I want to capture the artistic interpretation immediately. But I'm starting to realize it's more important to get the correct fingering and pedaling down first and perfect that and then focus on interpretation." So Osha, practicing the piece too fast, is this a common problem for organists?
Yes, it's a very common problem, especially for beginners.
And even not for beginners, I think a lot of people sort of want to get the general feeling of the piece too fast and too quickly.
But you know what I mean when I'm telling, that about beginners, because people who practice organ for more years, we know the trouble that, causes that fast practicing at the beginning. And simply we don't want to experience it again. Don't you think so?
It makes sense. What you mean probably is when you slow down considerably, you have to postpone the sense of gratification.
That's true.
Because you have to be extremely patient.
True. And I think all experienced organists have had this, thing when we learn piece very fast and when we learn something not correct. Maybe, fingering wasn't right or something, or text wasn't correct.
What about you, Osha? Are you a patient person?
Well, not really.
So, do you practice your pieces too fast?
Well, I think this is the only one case in life when I try to be patient and to learn it in a slow tempo first. Because the pain of undertaking the piece and relearning it is much worse when practicing the piece in a slow tempo first.
You know what I think is that I think you have experienced the moment of perfection when playing, nicely prepared piece without mistakes in front of public, and you feel good about this feeling. So then you remember this feeling, how you feel or how you felt in front of other people when playing at the high level. So if you want to rush and play too fast right at the beginning, then you remind yourself too that if you do this now, you will not be able to prepare that piece at the high level.
Yes, that's one of the reason. I never know if you play in the fast tempo right at the beginning, you will not notice, many wonderful things in a piece. You will not notice, compositional techniques, all those subtleties that, the learned musician has to, to understand and to notice.
It's like if you play the piece too fast when practicing, then you're constantly on the edge. Your nerves are tensed. You're stressed actually, right?
Yes.
You always don't know, you never know if you make a mistake or not. You're basically shaking. It's like driving a car at too fast speed.
Yes, that's right. Because when it's really a very good comparison with us about a car.
Thank you.
Because if you will drive a car too fast, maybe everything will be fine. Yes, if you are lucky. But think about some unexpected things that might happen. Your tire might explode, or somebody might run on the way right in front of your car, and then you will be toast.
Like a hedgehog, right?
Yes, or a person too, or bicycle or something.
A piglet.
Yes. I doubt that pig would cross my road, but hedgehogs, yes. In Lithuania we have those a lot.
Plus, if you drive too fast, you will never experience the beauty of the scenery.
True, and I think the same with learning a new piece of music. So at the end you will be able and you can play it fast, but not at the beginning.
What would you say to people who are criticizing a little bit this kind of approach and say, okay, if I play too slow all the time, considerably slower than I just want, and practice at the tempo which I could control, how on earth could I play fast in a concert tempo later on?
Well, for me it was never a problem to play fast. The problem was to play slow. Actually, because when you are learning a new piece, if you are doing everything step by step in sort of a correct way, or put your mind in what you are doing too, not only your fingers.
Mindfully.
Mindfully, yes, that's right. That's a very good word, mindfully. Then that speed will come up. You will not even notice that you finally will be playing at the concert tempo.
Because you will be ready.
Sure. But if you will play in too fast tempo, if you are not ready yet, you will make constantly mistakes, and you will play sloppy probably.
I think it depends a lot on muscle memory too. When you play very slowly, your muscles get developed better. Remember working out at the gym? In our classes, they always do slow exercises, not fast moving exercises, because to move slower is much harder.
That's true. Yes.
Right? So if you do this with organ, you play it at the slow speed, and little by little your finger and your mind starts to think that this is the normal speed. It's not too fast for you. So they will gradually pick up the tempo. Actually, you want to play a little bit faster then, and still be in control, and still can understand and appreciate the beauty of the details. Right? In a few weeks, you will speed up the tempo even a little bit more when you're ready. Right?
True.
And that's how you pick up the tempo up to the concert speed by practicing at your tempo which is under your control.
That's right.
Very naturally. Osha, are there any exceptions for this where you have to do some extra work to get up to speed?
Well, yes, there might be some spots, that you have to exercise more and to practice more.
Isolate those
Yes.
spots, and of course, first maybe play them extremely slowly.
True.
Maybe even not all voices together, in combinations and solo parts. What else? Maybe you could make it like an exercise, transpose half steps or whole steps upwards and downwards through the entire range of the keyboard, right? And once you do that up and down, you will learn this fragment, this maybe measure or two.
Yes.
What do you think about
Yes, I think this might be helpful. Although I'm not sure about, the fingering. Because you might not be able to apply the same fingering while, surfing through different keys.
You're right, but also think about the Hanon exercise. It's written all in C major, but in the preface, Hanon, Charles Louis Hanon writes that he recommends transposing, for example, to C sharp major and playing it with the same fingering.
Well, it makes some sense because, if you will practice always only in C major, then you will become very good only in C major.
Mm-hmm.
And all the accidentals will definitely kill you.
Yeah, but you will keep the same fingering in C sharp major as well.
But that's very bizarre way, I see his point, but it not always works in the real pieces.
It's like forcing your fingers to do what they're not meant to
I
do.
know.
It's very good for maybe very chromatic music and modern music, to do this from time to time, just to see if it's possible.
Yes, but yes, if you have a very thick texture, so oh my gosh, what kind of, bizarre things with your fingering you do.
Mm-hmm. I think people who cannot play up to speed, I think they are not ready for it, right? They have to choose easier pieces
Could
first.
be, and I think the Rhiannon exercises would be very beneficial for those
Mm-hmm.
performers, to improve these skills, to strengthen their finger muscles.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Um, and also, people who criticize slow speed practice, I think, have never mastered this piece in this way before. I think they think they would wish to try it, but they find some reason not to do it. And before they even try it, or before they master it, maybe they did it a page or two, and it felt really hard, and they complain. But if they persevere and do it from the beginning until the end for several weeks or even months, they will start noticing benefits.
Yes, I'm positive about it.
Excellent. Thank you guys for these wonderful questions. We love helping you grow, and we need more of them actually. Please send them today. And your questions could be about what you're currently struggling with organ playing. Just think about what you're playing right now and what would you like to achieve in 3 or 6 months with that piece or with organ playing in general, and what specifically stops you from achieving that? Why are not at this level yet? So write to us, and we will be glad to answer your questions on the podcast.
Yes, we are waiting for it, looking forward for it.
So do it now. We're still waiting.
Okay.
Okay. Have you done it yet? Not yet? Maybe now. Okay. Thank you guys. This was Vidas.
And Osha,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.